Yeah, 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 yes, yes, y'all, and it don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all, and it don't stop. This is Coffee and Bar Hits with Jesse. Go ahead, share this with your friends. I'll be right back. Oh shit, we got overload.
Resist with a close fist. It's time to resist. Resist, I insist, or your freedom will be missed. Ask yourself, why the world government on everybody's shit list? It's cause you know we've been dissed, and we got a right to be pissed. I don't swing to the right or left. I ride with God cause I'm blessed. God's gift to uplift. I'm about to blaze a split and reminisce like Hamlet when he heard the abyss. I said it's time we resist like the reals in the mist and fight the damn power for freedom to exist. It's time we resist. Resist with an iron fist. Resist the machine filled by greed and green. They try to pick us clean. How they get so mean? I think it's in the genes. They some strange ass beans. Filthy rich elite beans. Doing strange ass things. I think chicks slaughter hands like them David Blaines. Murder, murder, kill, kill to all you Jeffrey Epstein. Cause it's money they need. We don't wanna join your team. We want the American dream. I don't wanna join your team. We want the American dream. We don't wanna join their team. We want the American dream. Fight the power. Fight the power. Your ear like an earring. Make your ears ring. You discombobulated cause you can't believe what you're hearing. Make your ears ring. Make your lips sing. Make your body move from this groove you're feeling. They gave us social distance cause they fear our persistence. It's gonna take persistence for our fight for resistance. They gave us social distance cause they fear our persistence. It's gonna take persistence for our fight for resistance. Illusions are inevitable, weaving webs innumerable. Her beautiful picture never fails. Proud of each other, hell on hell. A charmer, or we believe by man who thirsts to be deceived. A charmer, or we believe by man who thirsts to be deceived. Tricks up their sleeve and deceive for greed. Got everything they need, but like pigs they feed. Inconsistently mislead, fulfill the need to lead. Government greed, another bad seed. Better take heed when you see the head lead bleed. Check everything you read, believe half you see. Resist is the message I perceive to lead. Best believe I'm a need, it was received to me. Fight the power. Fight the power.
What?
I'll bring your ear like an earring. Make your ears ring. You discombobulated cause you can't believe what you're hearing. Make your ears ring. Make your lips sing. Make your body move from this groove.
Go right here, listen. Yo, here's the thing. You will never know how hard four ways is, man. You will never know how hard four ways is. There is shit I can never, ever tell you. Sworn to secrecy. Mum's the motherfucking word. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Bong Hits, where my best friend Four Ways will body slam you. The rest of y'all motherfuckers fight like French dudes in 1930 and shit, wearing your one-piece bathing suits with the black and white stripes. Four Ways will just pick you up and body slam you right in the middle of a fist fight. He will just grab you by your leg and just like the Hulk does the bad guys. You don't want none of Four Ways. Hey, so where every morning I share that medicine with you, every morning when I share that medicine with you, man, that resist, when I give you my brother's medicine, that good shit, I'm really sharing the pure with you, right? Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that sucker shit. Only Puro. So, yo, man, homies in the house this morning. Hello, Deanna. What's up, Doug? James. Flawless in the house. Ian. Nate. Greg. What's up, Gregory Walls? Man, I think we got two sets of comments. Ashanti, what's up? Oho, what's up? Jess, what's up? Erica, Marty, Alexis, Devin. I hope I didn't miss nobody, man. I always really will body slam you, though. Man, that's one thing y'all don't know about me, man. You guys see a certain Jessie that I want you to see, right? You see a Jessie that's nice, that wears glasses, that sometimes wears sweaters. I'm a mean ass person, and my friends are mean, and we fight really hard these internal battles to try to set examples because we want other people to be better so that we are better ourselves so that it can trickle down to the wannabes, right? Like, if you're going to be a wannabe, why don't you be a wannabe over somebody hard? Why don't you be over somebody that gives back to the community? Why don't you want to be a family man, a person in a loving relationship? You don't want to be a sucker, man. Don't have sucker role models, man. So when someone like Four Ways gives you that good medicine to start your Wednesday, boom. All right, let's play this intro and get this song get this show really going. Let's actually start the show. There we go. That's the intro. Whoa. That's our intro. Oh, I damn intro, bro. Oh, yo. Anyways, I'm feeling myself this morning. I'm feeling myself. First thing I want to tell you, man, is go make your bed. Make your bed. Get out of your bed. If you're sitting in bed right now, if you are laying in bed watching this show, get out of bed, make your bed like it was jail. Then go back, get back in bed, and then go back to sleep if you want to. But you got to make your bed. That's one thing I always hated about going to jail, man. Like, motherfucker, once I gotta get up and not like I go to jail all the time or nothing. Not like I'm Four Ways. So in jail, the few times I went, it's like, yo, that's cool. I don't mind going to jail. Nobody can bother me. My pager doesn't even work in here, right? And then you're like, I just want to sleep for a while. But you can't. Because they still make you get up and make your bed. If you want to go back to bed, then you gotta just go back and sleep on you gotta go back and sleep on top of your blankets, man. Whew. What's up, Sam? Good morning. Good morning, Alicia. What's up, Oho? Hey, it's worse. Look, it's worse if you go to jail and you play chess or you play spades and you're not very good at it, because then you got to wake up, you got to make your bed, then you got to go stand in the breakfast line and get your breakfast plate and then give it to whoever beat you at chess yesterday. That's why whenever anybody asks me, hey, do you play chess? I give them this look like I just got out of the Shawshank Redemption. Chess. I remember. Chess. Yes. And then they're like, would you like to play? And I'll be like, what do you have for breakfast? And that's what we're going to talk about today, Erica. We're going to talk about the protest here in just a minute. We're going to run the protest talk up to the bottom of the hour. So y'all got to remind me when it's 9:30 because I'm really bad about that. But we will do it. But this is the point of the show where I have to remind you that normally the edgy shirt that I'm wearing today, I got this edgy shirt from Greg McKelvey. And to get this shirt, I parked in a handicap spot. And my immediate karma made it so that somebody broke into my truck and stole my phone. And that was the last good phone I had. That was my last Galaxy. And then that started like this stumble of falling down. Like Daffy Duck. Remember Daffy Duck when he's like, tripping, tripping up and down. Remember that? You know where he goes, oh, join up with me, so joyous and free. I went to a Sherwood High, for I'm Robin Hood, and I'm very good at avoiding the sheriff's eye. So we trip along merrily through the green sward so gracefully. We're tripping. Remember that? You guys absolutely have to remember that, or man, holy shit. Oh, it's only 10:10. I'm killing it. Oh, 9:30, right? Because we pushed the time back. That's right. We start the show later now. We used to start the show at 9:30. Okay, so at 10:30, I have to remind you, or you have to remind me that I need to cover the news because there's actual news going on, right? So the first half hour of the show, for those who never watched the show before, the first half hour is just us, just getting in our heads, right? Just remembering that we're the author, not the reader of the story of our lives, right? Remembering to take our mind out of this brain, shoot our mind through time and space, and put it at Timothy Lake. So therefore, we have a tether to the future, right? That's why you got to set goals. So anyways, today I'm wearing the same Fuck Wells Fargo shirt that I wore yesterday. Sorry, church kids. Sometimes you got to say the F word if you're wearing a shirt that has the F word on it. But also, seriously, Wells Fargo is not your friend. But normally right now, I will be wearing a shirt brought to you by our dear friends at standupandfightback.bigcartel.com. Stand Up and Fight Back is modern streetwear for the working class individual in 2020. Plus, they got all the edgy shit that's guaranteed to get you in a fight at Weimar. You don't realize how many Proud Boys might be at Weimar in the camping section until you're wearing a shirt that says fight me Proud Boys. Hey, but sometimes you just end up wearing the same shirt, especially if the message is good. But if you have friends that'll make fun of you for wearing the same shirt, then you should go where? standupandfightback.bigcartel.com. You can get a shirt with a Nazi with his head cut off. You can get a shirt with a Nazi getting punched in the face. You can get a shirt with a Nazi getting kicked right in his urethra. And your enemies will know your edgy political stance from however far away their vision allows them to. So, man, I still Wells Fargo is super bad. First of all, Wells Fargo invests in private prisons. Second of all, Wells Fargo illegally forecloses on families. In fact, if you're a big fan of soldiers, which I'm not, if you're a big fan of the military, which I'm not, Wells Fargo is notorious for foreclosing on soldiers' homes while the soldiers are actually overseas. You can Google all this. Most recently, Wells Fargo is in trouble for making duplicate accounts for all of their account holders. I personally wore a Wells Fargo shirt, fuck Wells Fargo shirt, because when I last banked with Wells Fargo, I had 3 separate purchases to make. I suggest you move your money to a credit union, Andrea. when I last banked with Wells Fargo, I knew that I was going to bounce my account, but I bounced it in a way that I only should have bounced one charge, right? Like I had like $20 in there. So I bought like a candy bar, and then I bought like a soda pop, and then I bought something that cost $20, right? But Wells Fargo hit me with the $20 one first, then the candy bar and the soda pop, which ended up being like 3 overdraft fees, right? So then when I went in there and was like, yo, why are you doing me dirty with the overdraft fees? And it was at noon on a Friday, and the bank was packed. And I was super whoa, I think the Portland police are having a press conference right now. Let's see if we can go to it. Holy shit. This is that kind of breaking news that I'm always chasing on this show, but it never happens. Let me see. Man, Facebook wants to give me a fresher, simpler, cleaner layout. Get started. Hold on, guys. Give me a sec. Okay. I can switch to classic layout anytime. Okay, come on, Facebook. Now's not the time to teach me new stuff. I'm an old dog. I just want to chew on the back of my leg until I get a sore. So what I want to do is go to my messages, which should be right here. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I don't know what this looks like on the show if you're actually watching. If you're actually watching the show, this is probably my nerd face. This is when I'm doing my science. I suggest going like to United's Credit Union. United's Credit Union is always kind. If you got to use a bank, I found Umpqua Bank to be very nice. And when I ran for mayor, when I was forced to get a brick and mortar bank account, because that's something weird you might not know about running for office. They're going to insist that you actually have a regular bank. You can't just be like, yo, I got PayPal. You can't be like, I got NetSpan, son. Let me run for mayor on my NetSpan card. I can't chime my way. I can't charm my way, but can I chime my way? Okay, so let me see if I can do this. It looks like there's a police conference coming up. So I'm going to try to do it. Man, we should be able to make this work so that I can put my face over Daryl Turner's body. Not like a TikTok video, but like where man, I'm having to use the backup laptop because I can't get my regular laptop to get off of airplane mode. So, oh man, okay. Okay, so let's give this a try.
I think our commissioners are making statements and making decisions based on knee-jerk reactions and not experience. I've said this in the last couple of days, and I'll say it again. I invite any elected official to stand on the line with the officers for a night and then multiply that times 30 or 40. And think about how many days they've been out there with rocks and bottles and
urine and human feces, as well as other things,
fireworks
thrown at them,
and still not be able to use all the resources that we have to be able to disband safely and at the lowest level of force that we possibly can use to disband these riots.
So on the first night, or the first weekend, or the end of May, there were no court restrictions on police.
Stay with me, y'all. It's just buffering because I blew it up.
Regarding use of tear gas or other less lethal, yet there are people running throughout downtown and smashing windows and businesses.
You know what? I think blowing it up is making it run slower. I'm going to shrink it again. Oh man, this is too funny. Sorry, you guys. I'm struggling. But I think it's because this laptop needs to go through the car wash. I really want to watch this though. So look, let me do this. Let me see if that helps. And I'm just gonna ride this little moment out. We can keep talking though. So for those who don't know, this guy right here is Daryl Turner.
Mayor Wheeler has started to speak up about the violence and condemn it, but it's been sporadic and spotty.
He's the head of the Portland Police Union.
And it needs to be a consistent message, not only from Mayor Wheeler, but from the whole city council.
The question I've heard a lot is why is tear gas being used on large groups of people in response to the actions of the few? Why aren't your members going in to arrest those individuals?
And I think there's several problems to that. I think the first problem is when prior to any tear gas being used, prior to any force being used, prior to any moving people being used, there's several warnings, several minutes. So it gives plenty of time for peaceful protesters to be able to leave the area, to be able to dispel, to be able to go where they're safe.
I have seen some of the protests, not everyone, but I've seen some of them where that has happened. The information is out. The peaceful protesters disband and leave as soon as possible. And you just have, for the most part, you just have the people who want to riot, the people who want to burn things, the people who want to loot, the people who want to throw things at the police officers, as well as hurting peaceful protesters. What hasn't been publicized and what hasn't been talked about a lot is the injury to peaceful protesters who have been out there, who have been hit with rocks and bottles and biohazards such as human urine and feces, as well as police officers. We're incurring injuries every night. We have officers getting hurt every night. We have some officers that right now are out for days in a row because they've been injured. They've been hit by objects that have hurt them. They're hitting the helmet with bricks and frozen water in bottles. They've been hit by all types of objects for nights and nights and nights in a row. And so nobody talks about those injuries at all.
Have you been compiling a list of those?
We have not been compiling a list of those because of some of that. A lot of that is HIPAA information, so we don't compile that information, and we would have to get it from the police bureau, and obviously, that's protected information.
There was a reference in court documents that there have been complaints about officers' working conditions. Have you filed out?
Well, the working conditions, obviously, we're talking about hours and hours, anywhere from 12 to 20 hours of working. The first probably 20 days or so without a day off. All days off were canceled, all hands on deck. And we're not just talking about people that were just assigned to the protest. We're talking about people that are taking calls for service too, officers that are out there still taking calls for service. Our response times have been woefully slow, understandably, and we're now relegated to several only priority type calls. So it is put a hamper on everything we do in a whole city. Portlanders are not as safe as they should be. They're not getting the service they should get. And it's all because our staffing issues, but not only our staffing issues, the support from city council has not come to be able to allow us to act as swiftly and appropriately as we need to some of these riots, to be able to disband them earlier before they become almost out of control.
So have you filed formal complaints, or in what regard?
Well, this first step for us is the vote of no confidence to city council. That's our first step. There will be other things that will be in the works and that will be coming in the next few days.
To what extent have you reached out to individual commissioners to talk about that aspect of it?
And I've had conversations with some of the commissioners, with the mayor. I've had conversations with him about the lack of support, the issues that are going on. Not many conversations, but some. And I will tell you this, I sent that open letter out 2 days ago with no response from any commissioner, except for Commissioner Hardesty, and her response was that she's hoping that I'm looking and willing to sit down and talk about reforms, which I think I spelled out in that letter. I've spelled out in other letters prior to that and other releases prior to that, that we are willing to sit down. We are willing to talk about reform. We are willing to work with not only the community, not only communities of color, but all communities, the faith community, elected officials. We're now having people step up like Ron Herndon, who condemned the violence and even said in an email that he put out that the police officers that were in the front line showed more restraint than he could ever show. Retired Senator Ava Gordley, who put a letter out, and I think the Oregonian had that letter in there, where she also talked about elected officials need to stand up and condemn the violence. Just an editorial that was in the Oregonian from Representative Jeff Barker that talked about the title of his elected leaders need to take action to stop the rioting. This is not confined to the Portland Police Association. This is not confined to Senator Ava Garley or Representative Jeff Barker. This is about Portlanders being safe, being able to not only to conduct their businesses in the downtown area, in the northeast area, but Portlanders be able to come downtown and enjoy downtown, but protest peacefully and exercise their First Amendment rights without fear of people in the crowd that will cause destruction, that will cause riots. This is about a social message that's being drowned out by the violence out there, by the destruction out there, by the burning out there. This message is being drowned out, and it's a message that's important. This is a message about social justice and racial equity that we need to have those conversations about, a message that can transcend the history of this country like it's never been transcended before. And this message is being drowned out, and at least in the city of Portland, I can't speak for every city in the United States, but at least in the city of Portland, drowned out by the negative attitudes and the criminal activity that's going on out there.
Part of that social justice, racial equity message is a call for outside independent oversight of an overview of officer police shootings. Would you support that?
And I think part of that is right now the system we have, which is a system that very few agencies nationwide use, which is every officer involved shooting goes through a grand jury process. The grand jury is made up of community members. If we take it out of the community members' hands, then what are we doing? We're leaving it to a political faction to be able to investigate those and to weigh in on those. Right now, the process that we have right now with community members being able to weigh in on a grand jury on officer-involved shootings with all the evidence, I think it's the best possible scenario we can have.
There've been a lot of allegations and accusations of excessive force, unnecessary force by your members. Do you feel that any of those are legitimate, and do you think that your officers are acting as well as they could be?
So are you talking about in a protest or just in general?
Yeah, in response to the protest.
As a response to the protest, obviously those are investigations that will go on. So I don't have any particular ones that I've heard, but I'm sure that when the complaints are filed, if they're filed, that the investigations will be ongoing investigations. But I will tell you this is why I call for body cams. This is why I believe that if we had body cams, I'm not saying it's the end all to be all, but it's a huge accountability measure. It's a huge way to gain community trust, because every incident that we're seeing nationwide is somehow captured on video. Practiced by law enforcement nationwide that we don't have in the city of Portland. So on one hand, we say we want reform, we want new things, we want accountability measures. But on the other hand, we don't have an accountability measure that almost every police agency in the country is using. And especially in the state of Oregon, there are smaller agencies than us that are using body cams on a daily basis that we are not using.
Now, that's been talked about for years here, but and then the funding was taken out this year. I mean, I haven't heard the union speak out that intensely in support of it over the past few years.
And I have. I've spoken out to city council. I've spoken out to the mayor. I've talked to legislative bodies about body cams and the importance of body cams. But again, it's obviously the city council thinks that they have other projects that they want to work on, other funds they want to use those projects for. And I think it's very important. They talk about accountability measures to use one that is one of the best practices nationwide to use for everyone in law enforcement.
How has these last 40+ days, how has it affected the your members involved in crowd control, how's it affected their sense of connection to the community versus alienation?
Our members are out there on the front lines every day because their support, the First Amendment right of community members to speak, to ask for reform, to talk about social justice, to talk about racial inequities. So they're out there to make sure that people are able to do that safely and effectively, and they support that. We support that. Whether we agree or disagree with somebody's message, we still support it. We support the fact that they have that right to have that message. What we don't support is what we're seeing from the rioters. What we don't support is what we're seeing, businesses being destroyed, people being injured. What we don't support is the fact that people are getting away with criminal activity. When you go up to a police precinct full of people in there, police officers and civilians, and you put dumpsters up against the doors and set fires, that's a Class A felony. That's an arson 1. When you go to the Justice Center and you try to set it on fire with several hundred inmates, as well as several dozen corrections officers in the building, and you try to set it on fire, that's a Class A felony, arson 1. When you're throwing rocks and bottles at people and you're trying to injure them and you're trying to hurt them, those are all crimes. They need to be prosecuted, they need to be convicted, and they need to know that there are consequences to their actions. And that's just not happening. And the first step to that is the condemnation by our city council of the rioting, of the looting, of the destruction, of the crimes that are being committed. Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Obviously, I'll be around for questions afterwards, but I do appreciate everybody being here. And I just want to leave the one message is that we want to protect Portland. We want to make sure that Portlanders have the right to express their First Amendment rights in word and in protest. But we want to make sure that also Portlanders aren't impacted by the criminal activity that's going on out there, and they are being. And our city leaders should be the ones standing in the front of the line saying they will not tolerate this, that they condemn it. Whether they agree or not agree with the message, they should be standing in front saying they condemn the violence, and it's not happening.
You know what? I'm muted. I was muted. I fixed it. I fixed it. Hey, let me be. Oh man. I'm doing my best, yo. I'm doing my best. I'm just one guy. My name is Jessie. Nice to meet you. Welcome back to Coffee and Bong Hits. What we just watched together as a team was Portland Police Union President Daryl Turner. So what you got to see was basically the person behind all the problems in the city of Portland. I mean, not all the problems, but kind of, because let me tell you this, man. A lot of people don't understand. They say, Jesse, why are you so mad about the police? Are you mad because 52% of their arrests are 52% of their arrests are homeless people, which is low-hanging fruit, even though they don't catch bank robbers or burglars or nothing like that? Or Jesse, are you mad because of all the untested rape kits? Or Jesse, are you mad because the police use the money that they get more radar detectors so that they can catch more speeders to generate more revenue, to collect more revenue, to suspend more people's licenses? Is that what you're mad about? I'll tell you this, no. I'm mad because they insulate the decision makers from accountability. That's why I'm mad, right? That is why I'm mad. Because if I want to air my grievances with my elected officials, if I want to come up to these dudes and be like, you doing me wrong, you doing my family wrong, you doing my community wrong, guess who stands in between me and them? The police. If a mother's kid is killed and the mother wants justice and she wants to go talk to Ted Wheeler about it, guess who stands between that? The police, right? Look, man, Twitter can say whatever I want to say better than I could say it. So let's go to my Twitter feed real quick. And remember, I just want to tell you guys one thing. When we do this, when we go to my news, this isn't that news that you fuck with, yo. All right. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go through my Twitter feed that I custom made just for you guys. But before I go into Twitter, Andrea, you have a very good question. You asked me, what's the solution? What's the remedy? What's the next step? If Daryl Turner is the bad guy, how does this get fixed? Well, first of all, Daryl Turner should resign, and we should have a union board that actually understands the complexities of dealing with the community as well. Right now, Daryl Turner embraces his role as being the advocate for the police in the same way that Kellyanne Conway embraces her role as being a spokesperson for the president, right? Like Kellyanne Conway can see the president, can't see the president doing anything wrong. And so, Daryl Turner can't see the police is doing anything wrong. And that lack of good faith, that lack of objectivity really clouds the process, right? Whether it's me sitting in at a meeting at the Independent Police Review Board or turning in a report for another example or another episode or another incident of police brutality, I understand that nothing's going to happen. And why? Because eventually it runs into a roadblock, which is the police union. Every time. I got my neck snapped. I sued the Portland police and reached an out-of-court settlement over them snapping my neck. I've done everything that a guy could possibly do to try to initiate change within the police bureau. Have you guys ever seen the video? Have you guys ever seen the video where I actually go and run the training course, man? I'll blow your mind real quick. Watch this. Watch this, man. You thought I was going to say shit, didn't you, church kids? Man, you guys know yesterday I was a guest on The Movement with my man Jimbo and Mike Funk and Tim 33 and a third and Amy Crash, and they were wonderful. Hosts, and they had me on their show. Watch this. Hold on. KXL live or die. Something like that, right? What is it? Life and death decisions. Hey, this is going to trip you guys out. You ain't even ready for this, man. So, when I tell you I've done literally everything.
How you doing, sir? What are you doing?
Oh, shit. Hold on. Hold on. Look, when I tell y'all I've done everything I could possibly do, I'm telling you, I've passed out petitions. I've held protest signs. I've testified at city council. I ran for sheriff. I ran for mayor. I shut down a bridge. I helped shut down Pioneer Place. I helped shut down an Apple store. I shut down city council multiple times. I got a tramp stamp that says all cops are bastards. Tattooed right above my boxers in the back. Just to give me extra juice if I ever go to prison. No, I don't really have a tramp stamp. That's the lie of the day. But so here's what's not a lie is let me pull this Twitter screen off and let me bring up another one real quick. This one will really trip you out. So here's something cool I did, and let me give you a little backstory to it. So what happened was I got a phone call from Lars Larson's people and my man Jim Ferretti over at KXL. And they said, yo, Jesse, you think it's easy to be a cop? And I was like, well, statistically, police aren't even in the top 10 hardest jobs in the country. And plus they have a gun and they have a taser and they have like a billy club and they have mace and they have a radio and they have a cop car and they have a shotgun in the cop car and they have friends and they have walkie-talkies and they have face shields and they have body armor and they have like padded gloves for punching people and they got steel-toed boots and stuff. So yeah, I don't really feel bad for them. And so then what happened was in Arizona, I think it was Maricopa County, they got that Sheriff Judge Arpaio, right? And so he found this little short, skinny black dude that had been leading some Black Lives Matter protests in Phoenix. And he was like, yo, if you think this job is so easy, why don't you come and do our training course? And so the training course, for those who aren't picking up what I'm putting down yet, the training course is like one of the final steps you take in becoming a cop, right? After like 1,000 hours of service, you go and you take this live course where you have a real gun that shoots blanks and you have a holster, and there's other cops that are pretending that they're bad guys and they have guns too. And you got to go out there and you got to determine when to use lethal force, right? So they had the skinny black dude from Arizona went and did it, and that dude was a clown. I don't know what else to call him, but he shot his gun everywhere. He got shot. Everybody got shot on every drill. Whole clips were empty. Just bam, 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 bam. All right, Fahim does a little bit of that too. Watch how many clips Fahim and Jim Ferretti empty. Fahim was like, I don't care. I went out there. I'm going to shoot everybody. I don't give a shit. I don't have to prove some point like you do, Jesse. So anyways, here's the thing. So I get the message from KXL, and they're like, did you see the dude, the black guy that did it, right? And I guess I should backtrack. So what happened was after the dude in Arizona did the course, then they brought him on the news, and they were like, yo, dude, you just clowned yourself on national television. What's your lesson? And he was like, man, that was scary. Man, that was really, really scary. He goes, here's what I learned. If a cop tells you to do something, you should just comply. And I was like, what? Hey, plug your ears, church kids. This weak-ass mofo, man, he really went on the news and said you should comply. Man, so obviously I took to Twitter to voice my displeasure, and so I got the call from Jim Ferretti, and Jim Ferretti's like, yo, I see you clowning that dude. Do you think you could do better? And I was like, Jim Ferretti, you son of a bitch, I'm a real life superhero. What do you think, man? I'm writing this check with my mouth. People like you usually say to me, don't write a check with your mouth that you can't cash with your ass. So I'm asking you for the opportunity to cash this check with my ass. Is that something that we can work out? Ass check cashing opportunity. So he's like, all right, well, if you're in, the station's in, let me just run it one more time by the sheriff's department, make sure they're super cool with it. Now that we got the okay from you, and let's do it. And I was like, word, boom. He said, but don't tell nobody. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch, Jim Ferretti. You know more than anything I want to tell the whole world, right? But I sit on a lot of secrets, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying? I hold secrets for half this town. so it's not a big deal to me or for me. But here's the thing. Then he hits me back, and he goes, Jesse, one more thing. I was like, yeah. He goes, can you bring a black friend? So I call Fahim, man, because he gets it, man. You know, my guy Max Smith from We Out Here magazine, man, a really solid friend and somebody that I know we can go into a Bugs Bunny situation together, right? So let me preface this real quick by knowing something you should know about me if you don't already know from watching this show is my role model in life, my hero is Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny is my dude. There is no situation in life that you will get yourself into that you cannot compare to some Bugs Bunny shit. Then you just have to think, what would Bugs Bunny do to get out of this? And then that's what you do. You just do the exact same thing Bugs Bunny would do. Maybe you have to sell the Brooklyn Bridge. Maybe you have to play all 9 positions of the baseball team by yourself. I don't know. Maybe you have to paint a tunnel on a cliff and hope somebody runs into it. Now, obviously, that's the road runner, but Bugs ran with a tight crew of problem solvers, to be honest. And Foghorn Leghorn didn't teach you nothing. So my plan was to go up in there, pick the cop up by the tail, and spank him on the bare ass with an old fence board I found. Right? Because that's what my godfather. That's what my godfather, Foghorn Leghorn, taught me to solve problems, right? Like, I'm going to get this broomstick and I'm going to shove this motherfucker through. Whoops, sorry, church kids. I'm going to get this broomstick and I'm going to shove this dude's whole body through a knot hole in the fence. Right? I'm going to stuff you. Or if you're following me down the street, I'm going to lure you into a position where I'm walking up and I just look down and I paint an X on the sidewalk. And you walk up and you look down to see why I painted an X. And then you look at me and then I point up and then you go, oh. And then you look up and a safe falls on your head. And you just get smashed by a safe, but that's not the end of it. Then I walk up, expertly pick the lock on the safe. Open up that goddamn safe. Your whole body just falls out. Boom. Cloud of dust. Wasn't even a dusty sidewalk. You fell on that. You must be the dirty ones. It must have been your dirty ass shirt you were wearing because this sidewalk was clean. I just saw a sidewalk cleaner guy come by a little bit ago. Okay, so look. So I called my black friend, as I very specifically asked. And we show up at the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, knowing that it's a trap, right? Knowing that no matter what happens, the cops are there to sabotage us. The cops are there to put us in a precarious predicament that we're not going to get out of, right? So the whole time you got to be thinking about putting daisies in the tips of shotguns. Or you could always just tie it into a bow, or you could always just do the old stick it down the rabbit hole and have it come up the back of the rabbit hole and shoot the dude in the butthole. That is always always a real solid move. Okay, so I'm gonna play this video, and you just gotta know that Fahim and I went into this situation knowing it was a setup. Yet I still promised not to fire a single bullet. And spoiler alert, I didn't fire a single bullet, but that's not the important part of the story. So watch the story, and then we'll get to it.
Sir? Hey, what are you doing?
Shoot or don't shoot? That was the question that was proposed to us as we took 2 members of the community to the Clackamas County Sheriff's Training Center to get a small peek at how a split-second decision can mean the difference between life and death.
You got a suicidal subject. No, come on, man. No, I'm not going in.
Fahim Akwai and Jessie Sponberg are 2 members of the community.
Damn it. Damn it. Hey, man, I'm killing the game today, though. So 1 accidental mute is still, my batting average is still going to be, man, at least my on-base percentage. I might have took a couple walks today on some videos, but Daryl Turner did half my work, you son of a bitch. Okay, so they put us in front of that duck hunt screen and put us in front of scenarios where we would have to shoot, right? Where there was no way of getting out of it. One of these shots, there's a mom that has a gun to her kid's head. So obviously you got to smoke the mom, right? And honestly, this part of it was fun. I spent a lot of time shooting people in the dick because you can like see like where your shots are on the screen. So I just unloaded on people's dicks. I'll never be able to, I'll never have to worry about that again. Like in my life, like it's off my bucket list, right? Duck hunt, shooting people in the dicks, real people. Okay, anyways, so the beginning of this part was to psychologically affect us, right? To make us trigger happy, to get our reactions to be panicky, to make us impulsive, to break us down psychologically so that we were in that we felt like we were in like desperate decisions, right? So they confronted us with a bunch of virtual desperate decisions before taking us outside where we interacted with real actual 5-0, right? So I'm gonna go back and finish playing this video, but it's trippy, so hold on.
Who have been outspoken regarding police use of deadly force, not only in our area, but across the country.
2 hands, right? 2 hands.
This isn't television.
Jessie and Fahim, along with myself, started in front of a video simulation using a standard issued sidearm, only it was adapted to fire lasers and not bullets.
Yeah, put your hands up.
While the people on the screen were not real,
You see that little girl?
was.
Oh boy.
Okay, so why did Susie Homemaker have to die here?
She had a gun to the head of her child.
Yeah, and what'd she say?
Don't make me do it.
Right. Well, what'd she say before that?
You can't take my kids away from me.
Yeah. If I can't have them, nobody will.
Yeah.
Following the indoor training, we were taken to a different area where the 3 of us took part in something that felt a lot more real. Clackamas County deputies played the role of suspects in different scenarios while we were armed with another sidearm that fired blanks. The 3 of us were tasked to defuse several different situations.
I'm gonna need you to stop. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna need you both to stop.
After each of us went through the 4 different scenarios, we took a moment to debrief with
Pistol
the
at the
deputies
cop.
about what we just went through.
That's what I watched. Last night I watched some training videos. And they say once you make that decision, you got to give it everything you have immediately. And I didn't do that.
Did this experience change in any way how Jessie and Fahim feel about the split-second choices police officers are forced to make every day?
All the scenarios that people are mad about are ones where the person didn't have to get killed, where there was other alternatives, where there were other means, but every couple of days in this country, there's another unarmed person getting killed by the cops. And I don't see all of those scenarios as going 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see just a lot of unnecessary deaths. And and from what I took today, I think that if this training is either or toggle switch, I think it might be doing more harm than good.
The deputies who worked with us through these simulations wanted us to understand that this is just a small snippet of the training they are put through on a regular basis.
And we did a quick little snippet for you of some of the higher end approaches to where our officers are after they begin their training, which is over 640 hours at the academy. And then depending on the agency, can be up to an additional 100 hours of training in this type of stuff.
The goal of this story was to shed some light on the split-second decisions police are forced to make every day.
What are you doing?
Not too much.
While the simulations are not perfect, as Jessie pointed out, we hope it showed the danger the men and women of law enforcement encounter. FM News 101 KXL and Alpha Media USA would like to thank the Clackamas County Sheriff's Department for making this demonstration possible.
Put it down! Hey!
Yo, that was real shit. Hey, that was real shit. Hey, maybe later this week or something, I'll show you the actual video of my course. Because I Bugs Bunnied the shit out of those cops, man. Literally, I killed it. I went above and beyond. I yelled at them. I cussed at them. I punked them off. I wrist twisted them. My ankle picked them. I took their guns away. I picked up chairs. I punked them off. If you want to find that, you could probably find that yourself on YouTube. The cops do that training, Andrea, when they the cops do that training when they reach the end of their number of hours of accreditation. He says in that video, he says what you saw was what the officers do after hundreds, upwards of thousands of right. I love that part, Jess. I love that part where he says, as Jessie said, right? I'm always doing the news's job for them, but whatever. Hey, thanks, Marcos. So I didn't fire a single bullet. I didn't fire one. Whoa, bro. Yo, did you hear that shit going on outside? Unless there's like Polynesian people chanting on the TV.
Yeah.
Is there?
It's Thor, Ragnarok.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like, Ragnarok is going on outside. Shit. No, Andrea, they don't do that on a regular basis. That was just a special occasion. That they thought they were going to do just to make me shut up. I know that sounds stupid, man, but the cops do a lot of shit to try to make me shut up. Hey, one time, look, so let me tell you how this story plays out. So I do that thing, then I go on Lars Larson, and we do a half an hour interview, right? Now, I go on Lars Larson. I used to go on Lars Larson when it was important enough to me to get my message out. I will go on Lars Larson and we would argue, right? And so they put me on that so that I would look like a sucker and that I would be embarrassed and that I would prove their point that they had a hard job. And I'd be like, jeepers, I didn't know it was going to be that hard. Fool, I'm such a G. I will fuck a cop up. Sorry, church kid. I spent my whole life just dreaming about that opportunity to put my hand on a cop, let alone ankle pick him and slam him on the ground and take his gun away and give it to his supervisor. That's you think I'm gonna pass that opportunity up, even if I get embarrassed, even if I flounder, even if I fail, I gotta do it, right? I gotta give it a try. Oh my God, wouldn't that suck so bad? Oh my God, that would suck so bad if I would have went there and just like shot myself in the freaking leg, or all the cops just pushed me on the ground, I skinned my knee or something, and then everybody was like, "You're a freaking loser!" And then I was like, "Man, I'm actually a good person." And like, check the YouTube. But instead, for the rest of eternity, no, Andrea, they don't. It's not a regular thing. It was just a special thing they set up in a parking lot to embarrass me. But it didn't work. Okay, so I go on Lars Larson, and I'm like, "Look, Lars, I just went and cashed that check with my ass that I had written with my mouth." So where I'm from, we just say scoreboard and we STFU, right? You ain't got nothing more to say, but I got scoreboard. The trophy came home with me. Queen is singing "We Are the Champions" for me, right? I didn't even fire one bullet. Lars. So you can say this, Lars, you can say that, but you're just a dude on the radio. I was actually out there with a cop's gun in my hand, some dirty ass pig gun in my hand, getting some nasty kind of rash or at least bad energy, right? And that made Lars mad, and that made his listeners mad. And he let people email and was like, "Jesse's the stupidest dude in the world." I was like, "Bro, you're late. You know, I did 4 hours of Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis before, and those people thought I was dumber than your people do." So look, I've been kicked off better shows than this. I've been kicked off worse shows than this. And I've been kicked off shows that were essentially about exactly the same as this one. So I don't care. I'm gonna do my thing, right? And let the look up at the scoreboard. Just point to it. What's the score? Jesse 4, Cops 0, right? Okay. So man, you guys will really love if we watch it's like 20 minutes, so I'm not gonna bog down the show, but if you Google that KXL Life or Death, you'll find that video. Then use that same search to Google Life or Death and then Jesse Sponberg, and there's a really dope video that'll show up if you're interested enough in seeing it. It'll be up on the website though. As soon as the urbansurvivorman.com website is done, that'll be up on there, so you guys will be able to watch that later, and I'll share it on the webs or whatever. Whoa! Ah, damn! Y'all don't even know. Woo! Got the reflexes. Nah. Flex. I went too far this time because I almost dropped the bong in the sign. I didn't even touch those things though to make that happen. Look, the sign fell off, hit the bong. The bong tipped over. I caught them both. I played shortstop and second base. Did my own double play. You know what? I think that's the universe telling me it's time for the triple camera bong hit of the day. And remember, starting next week, your company can actually sponsor this. This little part right here that just says coffee and bong hits, and then this other little part that just has a little cowboy guy, and this other little part that just has the dude with the sunglasses. You can sponsor this. This could be your company right here. It'll be like, yo, I saved the bong, but I think it was more the universe pushing me, right? Okay, so if you have any kids in the house, you should go get them. So I can teach the little fuckers how to take a proper bong hit. First of all, don't tell a joke and then take a bong hit, right? All right, hold on. Now remember, this show isn't about bong hits. This show isn't about pot, really. Coffee and bong hits is what I would give you if you spent the night at my house and woke up late because you slept so comfortably and safely, and then I was already awake sitting on my laptops, and what would I offer you? Coffee and bong hits with Jessie, and I would kick you some free game. So then I was like, well, why don't I make that a talk show? Why should it be reserved only for the people that spend the night and then wake up and take craps on my toilet? Right? You should be able to access this free game without having to use my toilet at all. So here goes, kids. Hey, will somebody screenshot this for me? Because it looks kind of cool. So close. So it's tricky. We have a show that it might not center on bong hits, but there's definitely some bong hits going on, right? So when you have that kind of show, you see, that's the problem. You don't want to really go stunting on the bong hit part, right? You just want to be like, yo, man. Let's take this bong hit and then shit, hold on, guys. Sorry, I need to sorry, I'm trying to negotiate an interview, but I might not. And if I don't nail this interview, then I'll probably just have to go back to my point about Daryl Turner. Y'all thought I forgot where I was going, didn't you? No, we're still on the same shit, man. We're still on the same shit. Let's try to get, like, I don't know, let's see if we can get Flawless or Ashanti or Angela or somebody. Can we get somebody on the show, man? Let me see this real quick. Sorry, guys, that you got to watch me work. And I bet I have a super stupid work face, right? While I'm concentrating. Well, I'm just like, oh, let me get my typing face on, right? So let me go. See, it's because I got to use my other laptop today, so it's a little laggy. Just a little tiny laggy. Yeah, but man, I want to see what Flawless is talking about on his Facebook because man, come on, Messenger. You're messengering me up. All right, let me do something else, man. I can do this. Watch this. Right, guys, copy the clipboard. Bloom. Blam. I'm really high tech right now, by the way, you guys. Okay, let's see, man. Okay, before this happens, I want to take this. I guess I should finish talking about Daryl Turner. I wanted to have a little vibration session. We could do that real quick because remember, you don't need to go through a lot. You just gotta remember story of your life. You are the author. You're not the reader, right? The reader is the last one to know what's going on. You are the author. Be the author. Climb out of the passenger seat of your mechanical machine brain. Open the door, get out, walk behind the car, climb into the driver's seat. Now you control the horn, the steering wheel, the windshield wipers, the window cranker for crank 'em, the e-brake, the stick shift, the gas, the brake, the clutch, the stereo. You control it all now. And all you have to do to get there is just remember it. Just remember it. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just remember who you are. It's so easy to get caught up in the trappings of this society, this paradigm, this aquarium, right? Remember, this world that we're in right now is just an aquarium. You literally just stuck your face into the water and are looking around. And that's the depth of it, right? What's behind your eyeballs? Infinity, a pet store, a street, a parking lot, a taco time. That's infinity behind you. In front of you, just an aquarium. Just a universe that's expanding and then contracting eventually. Just a big bang? The hell is that? Where the hell did the moon come from, player? You want to even have the beginning of a conversation with me, it needs to start where the moon come from. Right? I mean, if you want to talk to me about some real shit, what I need to know from you is where the moon come from. Everything after that is just avoiding the everything else is just avoiding the gorilla in the room, the elephant. And it's not just a regular elephant either. It's the Kung Fu elephant from Han Bak. What you know about that elephant? Besides the fact he's dead. Yo, but the moon is hella fake. You know what? I got an idea. I just had a great idea. Can you see it? Does my face look different right now? Do I look like somebody who stumbled upon a good idea? Or do my eyes look oily? What is this? I can't live like this. I need to hire an untangler. Just another reason to go get rich. Oh. Speaking of rich, I just had a good idea. I'm going to ask my friend Rich to borrow some money. Oh, man, let me see, man. I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes for an interview. And then after that, I'm just running my mouth about Daryl Turner. But that dude just negotiates on behalf of his client base. He doesn't negotiate on behalf of the betterment of the city. He doesn't negotiate. He doesn't negotiate on behalf of a better world. He just advocates for the cops. He's like that mom that can't see that her son like is a terrible kid or tortures animals. She's like, not my Billy. And Daryl Turner's like, not my Billy. But Billy is a ruthless cop. Not my Officer Poole. Now, you notice the same cop keeps ending up in all of the pictures of people going, who knows who this cop is? This cop is a total dick. And I'm always like, yo, that's the G that killed me, man. That's the cop that broke my neck for a police contract. I don't know what else to do, man. That's why now my journalism looks like, my activism looks like journalism, right? I went out last night, man. You know what I did? I sat on a park bench. Hours. Right in the middle of the park. Right in the middle of chaos. Army ants running back and forth. People on bicycles. My bad, guys. Whoa, what's going on in this? Look. Oh, it's Mario. Hi. All I saw was the top of your head. I was like, what kind of crazy shit is that? Bro, are you still in bed?
I'm on the couch.
Oh my gosh. Yo. Look. I just saw a bald head pop up in one of my windows because this camera went down. So let me just pull off this camera. And it'll just be me and you like this. What's good, player? I ain't seen you in like, what, 3 hours, bro?
Yeah.
Man, you're processing a little slow. Quit moving so much. Okay, that camera's up now. Watch, we could do this. We could do this. You want to look like the Brady Bunch? Yeah. Mario, join us. Mario. We have infinite angles. Anyways, did you get some good slumber?
I did.
What was it like not to get tear gas last night? Was it nostalgic?
Yeah. Well, there was no tear gas. I didn't get tear gassed.
That's why I used the word not. What was it like not to get tear gas?
It was nice.
Man, you probably have the craziest loogies in the morning, huh? With tear gas and smoking weed. Right? You probably
They come out pretty slimy.
Say what?
They come pretty slimy.
Man, you're glitching out way too hard, G.
I don't know. I'll jump off real quick. I'm gonna jump back on. I'm gonna see if I can get rid of some of this other shit.
Okay. Holla. Get out of my face, Mario. Man, I can't I don't understand why when we're at protest, Mario doesn't just eat the magic mushroom or the star and just mess up all those cops. Just eat the star and be like, and he just plows through everybody. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so let's go through my Twitter while we got this chance and see what people are saying about what Daryl Turner had to say. All right, so let's do it like, can we get this screen up maybe? This is the, because there's no screen. Okay, hold on. One more of those little technical difficulties we will overcome. Share screen, share audio, Chrome tab, that tab, this. What's that look like? What's that look like? What does that look like? Not cool. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. And then let's pull that off. And that's what I want it to look like. All right. Can we do some yo, it's going down in the comment section. All right, so let's just go through my Twitter and see what people think of Daryl Turner right now. But let's refresh it. Let's refresh it. Boosh. At this point, when I'm staring at the computer, I have to try my best not to use a doofus face. I want to just stare stoically. But most of the time, I know I just look like this. Like, okay. Oh, Kate Brown, right off the top. I'm committed to continuing the tough, important conversations about racial equity and justice in Oregon. Join me at noon for a live chat. We can get a little bigger even. Hold on. Okay, that should be like almost perfect. Okay, yeah, there we go. There's Kate Brown. Kate Brown. That's what I always yell whenever I lick a drive-through worker. When I drive through the drive-through and they go to give me my food, I just reach my tongue out, lick their arm, and just yell, Kate Brown. All right, so here's Alex Zelinsky out there doing the good journalism. She wrote, surprise, the Mercury was not invited to PPA's press conference on this announcement this morning, so we can't ask about these contradictions. Let's view this thread. Because Alex Zelinsky is giving some of the best coverage. Man, the Merc always kills it, man. Whoever runs the Merc always gets props from me. They've never written a bad story about me, unlike the goddamn Willamette Week, who will never get covered on this. I don't know what the holdup is there. Okay, maybe we won't share that thread. Maybe we'll just go back. All right. Kanye West 2020 election strategy. Don't care. Can I tell you something, man? If you are out here talking about Kanye, if you're talking about how insane it is that Kanye's running for president, or if you got a post that says like, man, people might really vote for Kanye, or if you say, yo, Kanye is going to split the vote, if you say anything Kanye related, in fact, what I'm doing right now is blasphemous to my own point. But you are literally the sheep that people talk about. And you're the sheep that Kanye counts on, depends on, and come through so reliably for him. It's not just Kanye. You'll talk about any garbage ass person that has a little buzz or is maybe a trending topic, right? Because you just want to have an opinion about what everybody else has an opinion about. So if Kanye can fabricate it to look like other people got opinions, man, my hair is crazy today. I need a haircut so bad. If Kanye can make you have an opinion anyway about his shit, he's manipulating you, right? I know, because I do that sometimes with activism. Hey, we'll just do this. Like, I'll take the heat, I'll take the hits, as long as people are talking about what I want to talk about. Like when I try to shut down the Walmart, the first Thanksgiving that they started having employees work because they were staying open. Yo, that's going into the time machine, yo. Who remembers that one? Take that into your time machine. Pepperidge Farm remembers. All right, so I announced weeks in advance that I was going to shut down the Walmart on Thanksgiving, right? And everybody in the city was mad at me because they said I was going to destroy Christmas for the poor kids. They were like, that's where you get the cheapest toys. Now, if you know one thing about me, I'm basically the Burgermeister, Meister Burger. I think toys are stupid. I love toys, but you're not going to sway me. You're not going to sway me by telling me that some kid needs toys, right? Because I'm just a kind of a dick like that. Go play with a stick on a rock. Go use your imagination. You can literally do everything that you would do with some Star Wars guys. You could do with some leaves or some sticks, right? Instead of having like Flint and Duke and Cobra Commander and Snake Eyes and Destro, you could have Dandelion Leaf, Stickman, Dandelion Flower Guy, Blackberry Bush, and Rock. One of your characters could just be a Rock, and he just have a bad attitude, and it'd be like, yo, Rock, why you always so grumpy? And then the Rock be like, why you always lying on the couch, Dandelion? And Dandelion be like, that's literally part of my name. I don't know. If I was a little kid, I'd have better dialogue. But so let's go back to the Twitter jammies. Let's do it like this though. Let's go with the tree screens. And then we'll go like this. Let's go through these fast. PBA President Daryl Turner didn't get a response from City Council asking them to defend Portland, so he pinned another one. We will stand up for Portland. Look, I'm gonna pull this one all the way. Hold on. I'm not gonna give you small screen. I'm gonna give you full screen. Boom. Okay. Look. That's not much different though. Look, full screen versus that screen. I'd rather just keep that screen so you can see my bewilderment on my face. Okay. We will stand up for Portland. A unanimous Portland Police Association executive board has no confidence in city council. And I can tell they have no confidence because I printed it in bold. Then there's some bullet points. Let's go through them. We have no confidence, once again written in bold, so it really demonstrates the lack of confidence. We have no confidence that city council will stop the rioting and looting and protect the safety and livelihoods of all Portlanders. I think that's been proven, right? Like, they're not stopping anybody. Does Ted even show up for work anymore? Is Ted even still the mayor? Like, does he? Is he? I don't know, man. I see these weird random tweets that he might have written. I see these Facebook posts that he might have written, but I sincerely don't think he wrote them. Like, is this dude really there? Or did the same thing happen to him that happened to Melania Trump? Did he end up being wiped out and replaced with a KGB agent? Good morning, Sarah. Where you been my whole life? You know who I really miss is Big Chris. Where's Big Chris? Okay, let's go through these. Look, I'm not going to tell you every time that it is I'm not going to tell you every time that it's capitalized, right? We don't really need this camera right now. We don't really need this camera right now. Let's just do this way. Watch, we'll do this. Then we'll flip back to this. I like this one better. But you know what? Honestly, no, hold on. Well, that's all right. But what I really want is this one. Okay, so let's go back now. We have no confidence that city council will guide the Portland Police Bureau forward into a new era of policing that prioritizes community safety, equity, reform, and police funding. Okay, maybe they just have a different vision of what that looks like, but okay. We have no confidence that city council respects and supports its rank and file officers who work tirelessly to better our community. Yo, that one's a stretch there, Daryl. That one's a stretch. Tirelessly? Man, those fools are always tired. That's why they're always leaning on shit. We have no confidence that city council wants to be part of the solution that closes the divide between police and our community. Man, that is so ironic that Daryl Turner, of all people on the planet, of all people, the irony that Daryl Turner is the dude saying this blows my mind. Blows my mind. That dude is the most insincere, my little Billy can't do anything wrong kind of mother hen for that police department. I understand that that's what he literally gets paid to do, but do it with a little bit of humility and don't just like blatantly lie to the people of Portland in your whack ass press conference. Man, seriously, I'm not really an expert on when it's appropriate to use the bold face, and I don't know if it like becomes thematic where once you decide that you're going to start writing no confidence in boldface, that you have to just continue writing no confidence in boldface. I don't really know how that works, but that's a lot of a bold type right there. Plus, it's a bold statement. All right. Oh, a riddle. All right. Yes, the last time the CRC, which is a Citizens Review Committee, successful, I think it is. Citizens, I think. They keep changing acronyms, man. You know, if they spend as much time changing bad cops as they do changing acronyms, then we might not need so many damn acronyms for all these citizen committees and citizen review boards and review councils. I don't even know what CRC stands for, but I kind of know what they're talking about. They held a police officer accountable for doing something wrong. Mayor Wheeler disagreed with the decision. I don't remember the specifics of that case. If somebody could remind me of the actual specifics of that case, that would be dope. Except that I remember watching the city council meeting where they argued that it would just cost more money and it would be a losing battle in the long run for man, I'm trying to get back up in. Ted Wheeler argued that it would just end up costing us more money in the long run if we did that. So, they let that cop go. Man, I wish I was the mayor, but I'm glad I'm not. Also worth noting, the PPA fought against the creation of the Portland Street Response Program, which was a crisis management team that combines officers with social workers. Kate Brown just announced today. She's announcing. Oh shit! You guys can't even see him right now. My bad. My bad. Okay. Hey, do you like how cool it looks though when I switch just to the touchscreen instead of the I can just move the tweets around now. I usually use the mouse. Okay, so Kate Brown decide crappy tweet. It doesn't matter. Okay, here are the police. The police just came up with their own alternatives. Okay, so this right here, what I'm showing you is what the police decided. This right here is what the police decided that they were going to suggest for police reform. Let me move this up to the full screen for everybody. Or at least that's good enough. We'll give it this screen. Okay, so man, Mario's phone was glitching, and so he went to try to fix it. He'll be calling back. He'll be popping up on a screen near you soon, I'm sure. Okay, so here's what the police recommend. Now, we had to translate this from a bunch of oinks and squeals, so this was the best that we could do as far as bringing it to you live and direct, but this is what they wrote. So re-examine and implement the 2015 recommendations of the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing. Okay. I'm not familiar with that document, honestly, so I don't know what to tell you. That's kind of a curveball to me, and my bad, I guess. I guess tomorrow we can actually look into that. We can Google it and look into seeing what that is exactly about, but I don't know. Okay, so number 2, alternatives. Create crisis management teams that combine officers and social workers. Like you literally saw Alex Zelinsky just wrote in that tweet that they fought against the creation of that already. That's what I'm talking about. This dude is so insincere. It's just like the same phenomenon with the president, man. They don't expect that anybody's going to take the extra second to check or to look or to check the validity or the accuracy of the statements, right? Like people are just going to read that and just assume that that's just the way shit is. Okay. Community policing. Return to community policing principles where officers build community relationships and engage in community service. Seriously? Seriously? Seriously, I can't even. I gotta go to this cam right here. Seriously? This will forever be known as the exasperation cam from now on. When I'm exasperated, I'm just going to go to the exasperation cam. It's the opposite of the Zoom cam. It's like, yo, y'all got to get the F away from me, man. Right? It's to get out my face cam. It's the push all the way back cam, right? The way back. How far are we going back? Way, way back. Oh, hi, Ashley. Hi, Anna. You guys are in the watch party. I'm not sure what happens, how the watch party gets separated. I think I ended up in Ashanti's watch party. Anyways, fair discipline is number 4. Implement fair, objective. Hold on, do I got the right screen up? Nope, I don't. I knew I wouldn't. Okay, let's go right here. Implement fair, objective, and transparent discipline and accountability systems. What? Yeah. That's great. That's great. This should have been done in like 2000 or something. Federal oversight. Establish federal funding for body camera programs, national reporting for use of force, federally funded minimum training standards, and national database of former officers terminated for misconduct. This is all shit that he's fought against. Oh my gosh, this is the one that's really egregious to me. Officer wellness. Establish programs that enhance mental and physical awareness and teach stress management. You want some stress management solutions from me? Stop doing steroids and cocaine on the same day. Not only will it give you pimples, but it makes you extremely volatile and constantly frustrated and makes your dick shrink. Sorry, church kids, but if you don't want to be shrinky dink cop church kids on steroids and cocaine, then take heed of this lesson that I just gave you for free, because usually the game is sold, not told. So soak it up while we're giving away freebies on a Wednesday like it was Free Game Friday. All right. Here's the other thing. That established programs that enhance mental and physical wellness. That's really insincere because, Ted Wheeler just gave all city employees. Hey, thanks, Sam. Hey, yo, here's that link to that report that I said I didn't know nothing about. It's in the comment section if you want to find it, man. Sam the man put that together for me, or found it for us, not for me. If I say he did it for me, then I probably owe him a favor. If I say he did it for us, then it's like the Avatar movie, and he just feels obligated. Right? Okay. So when Ted Wheeler said that all city employees get mandatory PTO, disproportionately, police took that time off in the middle of all this and just left their brothers and sisters hanging. Hey, Sam, am I lying, though? If I'm lying, I'm dying, man. If I'm lying, I'm dying, man. I'm not a dandelion. I got actual action figures with actual action. Oh, okay. So let me see. Can we get out of this and just continue? Yeah. And to make sure visitors know why they're parroting police reform policy, here's what takes up the majority of the page. You can't have police reform without police funding. Right? So that's weird. If somebody just tuned in right now, they would think that that was my statement, but we just brought it up. Okay, let's see what other people have to say. Look at the top line. Don't be fooled. These are all ideas that have already been discussed or implemented in Portland. Like I already said, there's what Teresa just retweeted. Cops are rioters, and you pay for them through your taxes. Protests don't cost a dime. The person who was arrested and prosecuted for being in the street made a deal to not take the street. Get out of here. Is that showing up like I wanted to? Yeah, this is cool. We're just going to ride this for a sec. My man Moonjin Cakes is the man. Y'all should follow Moonjin Cakes. That dude is always killing it, man. You know what? I feel like maybe having little memes like this might be underused. Like we could just find a page that just has Jim Carrey's like this all over it. All right, what else? Stinging on Trump. Some Street Roots. I love Street Roots. I wish they gave more money to their vendors, but I love Street Roots. Their voice. That Steel Bridge will close for 4 weeks. Why didn't they do that during the damn pandemic? Huh? Would have seemed like a great time to seem like that would be a great time. No, I don't, but we could go find some we could go find some coffee, I'm sure. Oh my gosh. What?
The police union is the evil empire. 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 The police union is the evil empire.
Yeah, that's not going to get old anytime soon.
The evil.
That is not going to get. Yeah, man. You know what I always do? I always skip over tweets that have Oprah in them. Not because I don't care about a strong black woman, but I don't care about a strong black woman that has $1 billion. A protester calmly shares her concerns for her civil rights with this officer during the police enforcement action tonight. Both parties remained courteous, although officers withdrew before the conversation was over. Well, isn't that nice? Who is that? Is that Eva? I think that's the homie. New research shows that approximately 75% of federal death row prisoners have documented histories of childhood trauma and abuse. Approximately 50% exhibit signs of severe mental illness. You don't say. I could have guessed that one and we could have split that money. Some of the links go to 2 others officers' DPSST profiles. Trying to work out the kinks is a work in progress, but nonetheless, well, it's a collection of like every cop around. Yeah, I don't do that because I don't want them coming from me. Here's a tweet from the homie Max Smith on a retweet. In my 3 years serving on the CRC, I've watched as members have joined with enthusiasm for police reform, only to quit after realizing that our board is merely theater. What did I tell you guys? I've been to those. I've been those people, man. I go to those meetings, man. I want to make sure that you see this. It's not just me saying this, man. This is Candace Avalos, who just got elected to a city council seat. This is her tweet, not mine. In my 3 years serving on the CRC, I've watched as members have joined with enthusiasm for police reform, only to quit after realizing that our board is merely theater. And then Robin Castro underneath it says, unfortunately, that proposed remedy has continued to stall due to the lack of political will combined with a police contract that is purposefully designed to evade accountability. Yeah, I don't know when I learned to read, probably tomorrow. All right, let's crank through these, man. Here's a good one from Pence. We don't want the government or the guidance from the CDC to be the reason schools don't open up. That's always a good one there, Mikey boy. Let's do this. Let's take off this cam. Let's take off this cam. Actually, let's keep this cam and this mic, and let's turn off. And you know what? I don't want to start getting too tricky. Let's just keep it what we know, man. We're almost to the end of a real solid episode, man, where we learned a lot from. Man, am I feeling this one or what? Okay. Hey, man, if Major League Soccer comes back, people are gonna get sick, and this guy doesn't want to get sick. Hey, here's what's crazy, man, is why don't these professional sports leagues just play Madden? Every player's on there. You just play your dude. And you just, but that's the season. You just have every dude play their dude, right? If you're Tom Brady, you go play Tom Brady. You play a season and everybody plays their position.
That's the life you live. There's people that play Tom Brady on the game better than Tom Brady.
No, Tom Brady's got to do it, or he gets fired and somebody else gets that money, son. Right? Let Tampa Bay or whoever has Tom Brady right now, let him become their problem. Okay, let's see, man. There's probably a lot of shit. Hey, let's just go back to the regular. Let's get out of there. Let's just go to my regular Twitter, man. I feel like my regular Twitter is going to be a little more hardcore because that's the other one's filtered, right? So it's going to be unfiltered. We got only 14 minutes left. Look, right off the top, my man Cam standing for Tulsi. I mean, Tulsi's lovable, and it's hard not to like Tulsi. But Cam really likes Tulsi. Wall Street Journal has a story about quarantine stress, dieting while working from home, and getting over a breakup. Oh, my God. I'm definitely going to not read those. All right. I don't care about that. Oh, man. This one. So this is some shit right now. Last night there was activist beef between two competing ideologies of activism. But here's the crazy plot twist to that. So it was two competing people that were arguing with each other, that were standing nearby each other, and they both have megaphones, but the megaphones weren't pointed at each other. The megaphones were pointed out at the crowd, but they were arguing to each other. So it was crazy futuristic display of the infighting that I've always said happens when the police don't show up. So when the police shows up, that's the piece of sugar or the piece of banana or the piece of strawberry that attracts the army ants, right? You know who the army ants are. The army ants is everybody like this that's out there. They're like this, and they're in the streets, and they're like that, and then like this, and in the streets like that, right? But it's all black. Those are the army ants. Those are the good guys for the most part. Sometimes they wild out, but for the most part, those are the good guys. And so if the cops are there, then all the protesters and activists have a compass, right? They can calibrate their actions and their activism based on where the cops are. Cops come over here, turn into a banana or a piece of strawberry, all the army ants go follow. But when left to their own devices, the army ants just wander around picking up random pieces of boogers and put them in their mouth to see if they should bring it home to the queen. There's no organization. There's no cohesive unit. They're all just running around scatterbrained. And then that leads to one, infighting, and two, a lot of broken windows, a lot of the small acts of arson, a lot of that is created through just boredom, and not, maybe boredom might not be the best word for it, but maybe like frustration with no outlet, right? The police being there, the presence of the police creates an outlet for your angst, right? You go there, you're angry, cops are there, you yell ACAB or FTP or BLM, whatever is going on, or whose streets are streets, or whatever you want, right? That gives you an outlet. But when you don't have that outlet, when you don't have that target, when you don't have that, you know what I'm saying? Cops have their wives and their kids to take that stress out on. Activists have cops. When they don't have that kind of stress release, they take it out on things like statues, windows, garbage cans, dumpsters, each other, cars, car windows, traffic. So if the cops were smart, which is so funny because that's not ever going to be a reality. But if they did have any leadership, which they don't, they would understand. All right, look, we got about 8 minutes left. Let me see if we can bang through some more of these tweets real quick, man. Let's see what we can do. Are they not showing up? Oh shit, somebody my behavior in a recent viral video is appalling. There was clearly a moment where I lost control and made incredibly hurtful and divisive comments. I'd like to deeply apologize to the Chan fam. The Chan family. That's so that doesn't look like it's showing up very well. Let me see if I can't go to the blow up screen. Not that I care about that. Yeah, that looks blurry to me, man. Is that blurry on y'all's feeds too? Oh, man. All right, look, I screwed that part up. We were having a great show until I tried to get a little too cool. That's always a reminder to stay in your lane. Don't try to flex. It's like a little kid when you play catch with a little kid. You throw it, they catch it. It's cool. They throw it, you catch it. That's cool. You throw it, they catch it. That's cool. But then about 2 or 3 throws down a row, when they get that ball in their hand, they just get bored and they just throw it sideways like into a bush. Like, why did you do that, man? Why did you have to go outside your lane and try to get tricky like a stupid little kid? And that's what I just did. And so now my privileges need to be revoked. So I'd like to remind everybody that if you haven't made your bed yet, you're probably a loser. So I'm kidding. Do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I was just kidding. If you want to send me hate mail, send it to my Twitter because I don't check that shit. Twitter.com/strangegameshow. I'll check that about once every year, and then I'll send back pictures of my middle finger so you can screenshot it and have the home version, play the home game. What else? Hey, I didn't remember to plug them today, but Big Island Farm Sanctuary could use your support as always. They got like 60 animals that they've rescued that live on that beautiful land. Yo, but somebody has to buy the pig feed because the pigs don't just eat grass. The cows can just eat grass and the goats can just eat grass, but that damn pig food adds up. The chickens need real food, even though they should just roam free, but I think they would fly away. Not because chickens traditionally fly, but because it gets so windy at South Point. Anyways, I'm just rambling now. As usual, I'd like to thank our friends at Flight Lounge Cafe for letting us come here. This is such a dope spot. Like, I'll roll a joint or I'll load a bowl and I'll think I got to go outside to smoke this. And then I'm like, no, the F I don't. I could smoke it right here with my friends in a cool environment. It's private, so you don't have to worry like when you're in a regular bar, some jackass is gonna wander through, and you're gonna have to Chun-Li him or get him with your E-Honda fast hand, where you just like or see him coming up the street and just get him with a Dawson foot. I'm not gonna do that one on the show, but you can imagine what it would. Imagine this was my foot, and it would just go, oh, yoga fire. All right. Like I said, I'm just rambling. So, yo, what's up, Janessa? What's up, Matt? What's up, Rebecca? What's up, Jessica? Y'all kind of joined in a little bit late because we Audi 5,000 in just a minute. So remember this: a kiss is just a kiss. I don't know what I was gonna say. Rising tide lifts all vessels. I used to always say that at the end of every episode when I lived in Hawaii. Now I don't never say it. Someone told me one time they like it when I say it. So now I say it just for them. Anyways, we'll get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow. I haven't slept that much. But I grind hard. So super special thanks to our friends at Flight Lounge, like always. Flight Lounge Cafe specifically is where we're at today. They always take real good care of us. Shout out to our fam in Kansas City. The broadcast from the 5 TV and gives us our home where we can hang out. And yo, we out.